An anti-ISIS operation within Camp al-Hol, north and east Syria, has been completed by the Syrian Democratic Forces. International support is required to prevent future security threats, the Kurdish-led forces warned. Iranian authorities executed 4 Kurdish activists on the 29th of January, but families of the deceased have still not been allowed to recover their bodies for burial or formally mourn. Turkey's recent series of high-level diplomatic visits to Iraq signal preparation for ramped-up cross-border operations against the PKK, analysts suggest. Prominent Syrian Kurdish politician Saleh Muslim warns that escalation of military conflict in the Middle East may form a prelude to World War III, as he highlights the need for a peaceful resolution. Learn more with Media News. The Syrian Democratic Forces have officially declared the completion of Operation Humanity and Security 3 in al-Hol camp, which began on the 27th of January with the support of the global coalition forces, aimed at dismantling ISIS cells attempting to reorganise within the camp. The Syrian Democratic Forces stated on Tuesday that the comprehensive operation resulted in the capture of 85 ISIS operatives and collaborators, along with the confiscation of a significant cache of weapons, ammunition and explosives. This included 8 AK-47 rifles, 4 landmines, 7 explosive belts, 7 hand grenades, 25 detonators, an RPG shell and a quantity of military supplies and narcotics. 5 tunnels used by the ISIS militants were also demolished. A key victory in the operation was the elimination of a senior ISIS figure responsible for planning violent acts inside and outside the camp. Another notable achievement was the liberation of a Yazidi woman, abducted by ISIS a decade ago. Despite the successes, the Syrian Democratic Forces highlighted persistent extremist ideology within the camp, posing a continued threat to security. Iranian authorities executed 4 Kurdish activists on the 29th of January, but families of the deceased have still not been allowed to recover the bodies for burial. Grieving relatives have also been banned from holding mourning ceremonies. Furthermore, security forces were stationed at the family homes of the executed men to prevent protest gatherings under fears of unrest sparked by the executions. The families have been forced to seek alternative residence under the security measures. The restrictions run contrary to both the Islamic Republic legislation and Sharia law, the wife of one of the executed prisoners said, asserting that efforts have been made to challenge rights violations. The situation has been met with silence and obstruction on part of the Iranian authorities. Another relative shared the heartbreak and uncertainty of families who were told that they wouldn't be shown the bodies or allowed to conduct burials, only receiving a vague indication that the location of the graves might be revealed months later. In the latest in a series of visits by Turkish officials to Iraq, Turkish Defence Minister Yaşar Güler met with Kurdistan Regional government officials and Kurdistan Democratic Party leader Masoud Barzani in Erbil on Wednesday. Güler's unannounced visit to Iraq and the Kurdistan region follows recent visits by peered senior Turkish officials, including Turkish spymaster Ibrahim Kalin and Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. While official statements emphasise a desire to strengthen bilateral relations, analysts speculate that these diplomatic efforts by Turkey, coupled with reports of military mobilisation in the region, may signal preparations for a potential new wave of Turkish military campaigns against Kurdish guerrillas in the region. The meetings took place against the backdrop of significant losses for the Turkish armed forces in their operations against the PKK in northern Iraq, as well as an escalation of Turkish attacks on Kurdish areas in both Iraq and Syria. In addition, recent elections in Kirkuk raised allegations that Turkey has been manipulating the political agenda in the region. According to a statement issued by Kurdistan Regional Government President Nechirvan Barzani, the meeting focused on the regional political situation and security threats, as well as relations between Iraq, the Kurdistan region and Turkey. Syrian Kurdish politician Saleh Muslim, co-chair of the Democratic Union Party, spoke to Peter Boyle of the Green Left Weekly on Wednesday to warn that the escalating military conflict in the Middle East could form a prelude to World War III. Muslim emphasised that hegemonic regional and local powers are all deeply involved in the crisis in north and east Syria, which is yet to find a peaceful and long-lasting resolution.
All we can do, we have to prepare ourselves, for any worse conditions and so on. And the Syrian conflict is more than about 13 years, is continuing till now without any solution. And there is no solution because the local forces like Turkey and Iranians and the others, they have their own plans, and the international hegemonic powers, they have their different plans, which is affecting each other, because of that.